welcome everyone welcome everyone to the conference organized by Institute of Research and Journal Forum. So the conference is the basically the organization is a decade-old organization conducting conferences across the globe, and the program here today basically we see that it's interdisciplinary conference, interdisciplinary session where the organization conducts conferences in the field of science, technology, management, and humanities, and all different disciplines. And adding more, the organization has around 8 reputed journals in the field of science, technology, management, medical sciences, and all. And all these are reputed journals. And organization is based out from Dubai, and it's a decade-old organization. Till now, the organization has till now more than 3 to 4 lakhs of papers have been published in the journals. And more than 5 to 6 lakhs people have been associated in the journey of the organization. So this is the journey of the organization as a whole, right? So with this a small introduction, I would now go ahead and start today's session. So we have around 21 participants for the day. So we can, in the interest of time, we will be having maximum of 8 minutes for each participants, right? And once the presentation is done, we can take up the question and answer session. uh, You know, that is, we can take the question and answer session in the chat box rather than here in the interest of time, right? So, yeah, without wasting much time, I would now go ahead and call upon the first participant of the day. And we also know like the people are there from different time zones. So in as we see that as it is a different time zones of people, if they have any emergencies or anything, they if they want to present early in the interest of time, they can just message in the chat box personally, right? So that I can just try to accommodate the flow, and accordingly I would like to invite you based on the if any of the participants in between, if I don't see them, right? So well, with this we will be going ahead and starting today's session, right? Thank you for turning on the video. I will be taking a group photo now. Three to four people are yet to turn on. Yeah, some 3 people. We have some 5 participants are yet to turn on the video. Please turn on your videos for a group photo. Later you can turn off. Yeah, 4 participants yet to turn on. Sit-in and YGA, Divyansh, Sushant. So some 4 participants yet to turn on the video. Okay, fine. I have taken, that's fine. I've just taken the group photo. Not an issue, right? Thank you. We will now go ahead and call upon the first participant for the day. That is Devanshu Mondal, exercise posture detection. Just mute. Yeah. Well, we can go ahead now and start up with the session. I would now call upon the first participant. Please share your presentation. Do we have them present here, Devanshu and their team? Or I will go ahead with the second participant. The role of AI in transforming business management and e-business opportunity. Omar Alshamesti. Omar. Yeah, Omar, please go ahead. Omar, you are on mute. Yeah, Omar, you are on mute.
Yes, you hear me
Yes, yes. Now
now?
we can see you.
You hear?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My research title about role of artificial intelligence in transforming business management and e-business, opportunities and the challenges. My name is Omar Shamsti. I am from Palestine Technical University Ghaduri. Uh, for introduction, uh, AI is a transformative tool that reshaping business management and e-business. For its key benefits in enhancing decision making and the same operation, improve customer satisfaction. But AI has challenges like ethical concern and data privacy and workforce displacement. AI has many rules in business management. AI can enhance decision makings through predictive analytics. Also, automate routine tasks to improve efficiency. Also, I can improve customer satisfaction by personalization, customer satisfaction through AI-driven insights. About AI in business, AI has a power to recommendation engines, to predictive analytic enhance in e-commerce, to predict what customers need or what's customer want to buy or what's his future demand. Also can optimize supply chain operations by predicting the demands, enhance also security through fraud detections. But AI has challenges like ethical concern. Sometimes algorithms bias and decision transparency. Yes. Also, for the data privacy issue, compliance with regulations and safeguarding sensitive data. Also, workforce displacement, AI automations replacing routine jobs. Strategies for successful AI integrations, ethical AI framework emphasizing transparency, fairness, and accountability. The transparency AI decision-making process should be explainable and interoperable. Also, fairness AI algorithms should be trained on diverse, unbiased dataset to prevent discriminations. Accountability also, organizations should design the AI ethics committee to oversee all implementations. AI should comment human effort, not replace them. It's for recommendations. Training AI-related and soft skills like critical thinking and creativity also should encourage corporate responsibility in ethical AI development. As a conclusion, AI is a transformative force in business management and e-business should have take ethical considerations and privacy and workforce adoption because it's a key challenge. Companies also must balance AI advancement with a human cooperation for long-term success. I want to take my opportunity to give my acknowledgement to my university because of grateful to Palestine Technical University Khaduri for its continuous support for our research. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Omar, for your wonderful presentation. Yeah, it was a
Thank you.
very nice presentation. We can take up the questions offline for the
Okay.
participants.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all the participants here and also the chairperson, Dr. Ravi. Okay, so my name is Dr. Siti Suraya Abdul Razak. I am from University Technology Malaysia. So this is the topic for my article, that is knowledge, attitude and perception toward ChatGPT among university students. The ChatGPT has revolutionized education by supporting learning, curriculum integration, and enhancing student engagement. Nowadays, our students is actually using ChatGPT to do their assignments, and also the postgraduate students also use ChatGPT to do their research. So it is important to understand the students' knowledge, attitude, and perceptions to assess AI or artificial intelligence role in personalized learning. The insights from this study will guide educators and policymakers in integrating AI tools to improve learning outcomes, tailor educational experiences, and meet students' specific needs. So this is the problem statement. ChatGPT can facilitate plagiarism, as students might use it to generate content without proper attribution, undermining academic integrity. And also, the limited access to ChatGPT and varying tech proficiency could disadvantage students from less tech-savvy backgrounds and worsening educational disparities. And the dependence on ChatGPT might hinder essential academic skills like research, synthesis, and writing, negatively impacting academic performance. So this is the research question of my paper. Number one, what is the level of knowledge among university students on the use of ChatGPT? What is the attitude of university students on the use of ChatGPT? And number three, what is the perception of university students on the use of ChatGPT? There are also three research objectives, that is to assess the level of knowledge among university students on the use of ChatGPT. Number two, to examine the attitude of university students on the use of ChatGPT. And number three, to explore the perception of university students on the use of ChatGPT. So for the literature review, the first one is about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is widely used across education, healthcare, and research due to its versatility. In education, ChatGPT actually enhance student productivity, help them to do assignments, help them to do their research, and supports diverse learning tasks. Okay, so the first variables, that is knowledge, study reveals over 90% of students are familiar with AI, especially the generation nowadays. Okay, but only about half can explain its function, limiting an effective use of job market competitiveness. Yes, a student actually they know how to use ChatGPT, but they are not expert. They do not know how to prompt to get the proper result from the ChatGPT. Student attitude towards AI tools like ChatGPT are influenced by exposure to AI, technology proficiency, and ethical considerations. Okay, sometimes students, they use ChatGPT because the peers are also using it. Perception, ChatGPT's ease of use and personalized support benefits students with limited tech skills. So the students have a good perception about ChatGPT because it helps them to do their assignments. So this is the research framework. Okay, there are three factors here that influence them to use ChatGPT: knowledge, attitude, and perception, and the use of ChatGPT among university students. So the knowledge, attitude, and perception of the ChatGPT will actually contribute to the use of ChatGPT among them. So this is the research methodology. Okay, the data analysis is using SPSS, and then we have conducted pilot study involving 30 students, and also we use a Google form to collect the data. And then the population size is undergraduate students at University Technology Malaysia. The sample size is 380 students. So this is the results of the findings. So this is the gender, the age, year of study, the race, and also these are the faculty in the university. Okay, so this is explanation for objective number. This recall again. The first RO is to assess the level of knowledge among university students on the use of ChatGPT. The descriptive statistics show that the average knowledge score among university students is 4.47, indicating a high level of knowledge on a 5-point Likert scale. However, some students lack deeper knowledge, such as using ChatGPT for advanced academic tasks. So they only use ChatGPT for a basic question or basic assignments, but they do not know what is the proper prompt, proper instruction to do their research. And this is the discussion on RO2 to determine the relationship between the attitude of university students and the use of ChatGPT. The relationship between attitude of UTM student and the use of ChatGPT, the Pearson correlation shows a significant positive correlation between students' attitude and their use of ChatGPT. This shows that students who have positive attitude toward ChatGPT are more likely to use it for academic purpose. And discussion on RO3, to analyze the perception of the students on the use of ChatGPT, it shows that a mean score of 4.47, emphasizing its perceived usefulness and ease of use. The students actually find that the ChatGPT is easy to use and useful for them to do their work. This is consistent with the TOPS observation regarding AI intuitive interfaces and ability to improve learning experience. Students appreciate ChatGPT ability to provide quick solutions and personalized assistance, which help them to complete their academic tasks more efficiently. So as a conclusion, the findings show that university students demonstrate high knowledge, positive attitude, and favorable perception toward the use of ChatGPT. This research lay a foundation for future studies on AI's broader impact on education and society. So that is all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. It was good presentation on your research work. Please share your email ID on the chat box. We can collaborate. Our participants can get in touch with you if there is any queries. Thank you, ma'am. So now I would like to go ahead with the next participant, fourth participant for the day. Yeah, the next participant. Okay. Please start. Please go ahead. The fourth, yeah, you can unmute yourself and start.
Hello, can you hear
Yes, we
my
can.
voice?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me thank you all for attending here today. May I introduce myself? My name is Ding Jima. I am currently a PhD candidate, specializing in water resource engineering. Engineering in engineering department of Manly Technology University. Let me share screen, and as you can see on the screen, today I will be discussing about development of flood mitigation measure for Mandalay. Our flooding is a significant and growing challenge in many many places, and particularly in rapidly developing regions. The increasing frequency and intensity of rainfall event in urbanization, climate change, and inadequate drainage infrastructure increase the risk of flooding. In recent years, the major basins such as Shuijin Basin, Tingazha Basin, Payano Basin face urban flooding due to a combination of factors, including the conversion of natural landscape into impervious surface, the inadequacy of drainage system, and changing in land use pattern. There is an essential need to assess flood risk across the city, identify flood-prone area, and develop an effective mitigation measure. In this study, stormwater management model was used to simulate the flood risk for 3 basins with different return period. Stormwater management simulation result identifying the flood-prone area and predictive flood depth and drainage capacity. These results integrate with to develop flood hazard map. The main aim of this paper is to develop the effective flood mitigation measure at reducing flood risk at their level. The objective of the study is first to develop the flood hazard map for Mandalay to propose the best way or urban flood mitigation scenario for Mandalay. This figure shows the existing draining wash on Mandalay. Near Mandalay. This slide is about the method used in this research. Generate flood hazard map using Juche software. Secondly, develop flood mitigation scenario with SWMN version 5.2. This study involved creating an SWMS simulation model for manually draining a wall using a background map to define the steady area and establish flow path between sack catchment and the draining wall. Historical rainfall data for different return periods were integrated and the key hydrology parameter including land use characteristic, slope, and infiltration data were assigned to each sack catchment. The draining wall was digitized using 2G and the fee survey data with the hydraulic with hydraulic property of channel and junction defined based on D and digital elevation model data. The runoff inflow and boundary condition for all outfall were integrated and rainfall pattern were developed using rainfall duration frequency data for different return periods. The simulation resulted in identifying several junction and channels that experience flooding during big strong event. In the Shui Jing Basin, the flood rates remain moderate even at a 50-year return period. Using the result from the SWMS simulation, flood hazard map for 3 basins were generated in Juche software, which is an open source geographic information system tool for visualizing flood data. The process of generating a flood hazard map involves several steps. Firstly, the necessary SWMS input data were prepared by collecting the required information and creating an info file .imb using generate SWMS and IMB plugin. Finally, the flood prone area will analyze and visualize by classifying the flood value into risk level category, low risk level, moderate risk level, high risk level, and very risk level, and applying symbology user color coding to highlight area with different flood risk level and the flood hazard map were generated. Flood scenario mitigations measure for urban area aim to reduce the frequency and severity of flooding and through a combination of engineering and non-engineering solution. In the steady area, 3 flood mitigation scenario will consider modifying impervious surface, modifying channel dimension, and combine both with the design of the retention and detention basin. This slide about the result and discussion for generating flood hazard map. In this study, the process of generating flood hazard map involves analyzing channel capacity and flood depth, classifying full distance flood rate level. Full distance flood rate. This is the flood hazard map for Shui Jing Basin with 10-year return period. For Shui Jing Basin, the flood hazard map reveals varying flood risk level with various return period. During the 10-year, most area experience low to moderate risk with flood depth between 0.1 meter and 0.3 meter. Near 3 meter. As the area is an urban region, the flood hazard map for Shui Jing Basin was chosen for a 30-year return period and it presented in this figure. During this year, most area experience low to moderate flood risk with flood depth between 0.1 and 0.3 meter. This figure shows the flood hazard map for Shui Jing Basin for 50-year return period. This figure shows the flood hazard map of the Tingazang Basin with 10-year return period. At the 10-year return period, flood risk for primary moderate with a flood depth between 0.1 and 0.3 meter observed in most area. At the 30-year return period, flood risk for primary moderate with flood depth between 0.1 and 0.3 meter observed in most area. However, at the 50-year return period, more substantial flooding were observed with an area experiencing high flood risk 0.3 meter and to 1 meter. This figure shows the flood hazard map of PNO Basin with 10-year return period and also 30-year return period and also 50-year return period. This slide about recent discussion for developing flood mitigation scenario. The various return period including 10-year, 30-year, and 50-year were analyzed. Only the result for the 30-year return period were presented in 3 basins as the area is an urban area. This table describes about the result of flood program and that of the flood mitigation mitigation scenario went for the most flat brown area in Shui Jing Basin with 10-year, 30-year, and 50-year return period. Out of the total 26 catchment, 28 junction, and 33 channel in Shui Jing Basin, simple flat problem on this. But no significant change in flood risk level was observed, suggesting that reducing impervious surface only was not sufficient to substantially mitigate flooding in the steady area. The steady area, out of the 340 catchment, 257 junction and 434 channel in Dingaza Basin, some flood problem on this. Also in Dingaza Basin, no significant change in flood risk level was observed, suggesting that reducing impervious surface only was not sufficient to substantially mitigate flooding in the steady area. Steady area. This study summarized the finding for
ಅವ್ರು
Shui Jing
ನಿಂಗೆ
Basin.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ನಿನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ
Okay.
ನೀನೇ ಕೇಳಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
Okay, thank you. In scenario 3, from the result, from the result scenario, this study generated flood hazard map and developed flood mitigation scenario in 3 basin for different return using SWMN Juji. The flood hazard map category into 4 risk level, with moderate risk being the most frequent. Among the 3 mitigation scenario evaluated, scenario 3 proved most effective and reducing flood risk. These findings prove a framework for urban flood planning and the flood risk management, offering actionable solution to minimize impact and promote the sustainable development. This slide is response from this. I just to finish and to thank you all for your time today, and I want to apologize if I have some mistake for this presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation, Tint. Please share your email ID for the participants if they have any queries. They can get in touch with you. I would now go ahead with next participant, Taima.
Participant number
Tara.
5.
Yeah. I welcome
Participant
Vaishak.
number 5, sir. Examination of nurses' opinions and attitudes of toy selection and safety. Participant number 5. This will be the last call. Participant number 5.
Hey. I am the co-author of Examination of Nurses' Opinion and Attitudes on Toy Selection and Safety. Please.
Yes, please share your presentation
Okay.
and start.
Okay. I'm going on. Examination of examination of nurses' opinions and attitudes on toy selection and safety. I am from Turkey and co-author of Examination of Nurses' Opinion and Attitudes on Toy Selection and Safety, Çetin Çoban. Introduction. The role of toys in children's development is multifaceted, encompassing elements such as education, emotional development, socialization, and safety. Educational toys are designed to promote cognitive, physical, and emotional development and serve to learn basic skills such as language, numbers, and social interaction. The ability to role play with toys can help children enrich their emotional vocabulary and comprehension by allowing them to experiment with different emotional responses and understand the emotion of others. Toys that promote social skills and peer interaction encourage cooperative play between children. The role of toys in child development cannot be ignored, as they are fundamental mediator of learning, socialization, and emotional awareness. However, the safety of play materials is crucial, as unsafe toys can lead to serious health risks. When choosing toys, it is important to consider that they are not only interesting and educational, but also safe. Toy-related accidents in children are a major public health problem, and several studies highlight the prevalence of these incidents. The introduction of safety standards to prevent toy accidents, such as the standard mandated by the European Union that prohibits small parts in toys for children under 3 years of age, is a step in the right direction. In addition, the acceptance of CE certification in the international market is another important step for safe toy tracking. The CE certificate is a very important certificate that shows compliance with safety, health, and environmental protection standards for toys sold in the European market. It is important for parents and nurses who also care for pediatric patients to be aware of the choice of toys for children aged between 0 and 12 years. One of the important care goals of nurses is to reduce the stress of child and help them overcome their fears. As nurses and parents, play and toys are an undeniable fact in the formation of bond of trust between mothers and children. Thus, the child will be able to express his or her feelings to caregiver and transfer his or her positive and negative experiences. In this respect, it's very valuable for the caregiver to play with the child. Its objective, this study was conducted to determine the opinions and attitudes of nurses with children aged between 0 and 12 years about toy selection and safety. Its descriptive cross-sectional study, a total of 135 parents with children aged between 0 and 12 years working as nurses in Sinop Atatürk State Hospital participated in the study. Data were collected with a 22-question child and family introduction form created by the researchers. The form was developed by the researchers after a literature review. In the form, socio-demographic characteristics of the child family, opinions on toy purchase, who buys toys the most, frequency, number of toys, whether there is a need for toys, types of toys purchased, who decides on the purchase of the toys. Factors affecting toy purchase, the most important factor in toy selection in terms of child health and safety. The meaning of CE marking, whether the child had an accident related to toy, and if so, the type of accident. Data were analyzed using SPSS 26 statistical package program. Descriptive data were presented as mean, standard deviation, median, minimum, and maximum values. Frequency, percentage thickness of chi-square tests were applied to analyze the demographic information of the research group and descriptive data related to research topic. Findings. The person who bought the most toys for the child was 50% other adult and 36% mother. The decision to buy the toy is made by 60% of the adults in the family and child together. The level of knowledge of the respondents about CE marking was 87.4% and 96.3% of the children did not have any toy-related accident. The meaning of the toy for the parents was found to be 70% developing imagination, 45% doctor's recommendation influenced their choice of toy, 30% cheapness of the toy, 34% educational, 96.7% children did not have any toy-related accident. 90% of parents think that the toy will contribute positively to the development of the child, and 65% of them accompany by game with their child. Conclusions. The study showed that as parents' level of education increases, they tend to make more informed and knowledgeable choices about toys for their children. This trend is likely influenced by a combination of factors such as increased awareness of child development, safety standards, and the educational value of toys. However, the fact that nurses are more attentive to safety aspect of toy selection than other parents in the literature may be due to their professional exposure to potential risks. Further research in different population and professional is need to reveal the relationship. By prioritizing safety, promoting educational value, and supporting inclusive play experiences, toy should serve as effective tools for children to grow up and develop. It's all my presentation. Thank you for your interest.
Please share your email address in chat. Your presentation is interesting. I would like to connect with you. I'm Wasim from India.
Yes, thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Kindly let me please inbox your email ID for further communication in the chat box. Few
Okay.
presenter have been asking for it. Please chat your email ID.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wasim Barimaner. I am Associate Professor at Film and Television Institute of India in Pune. And I am a filmmaker and I teach cinema in a film school. So my presentation today is about adapting classic literature to modern media because that is my primary interest. So the topic is from pages to screen adaptations of classic children's literature from modern media. So the role of children's literature has been quite evident in our modern media and modern life that it has contributed towards education, entertainment, and information and generating a lot of joy in our children's life. And it has been observed that children's literature has been adapted on the screen previously and constant efforts are being to increase and create better and better images, better and better projects, which would enhance the effect of or take the essence that we see in children's literature that we transform onto screen. But there are a lot of challenges. First of all, the challenge is the condensing the narrative. What we see in any novel, maybe a chapter, maybe a line, may end up into a bigger scene on screen. Or what we see is a long descriptions in a novel may not even make it to scene. Then there are visual effects and this computer generated image that we try to create from images or writings that appear from our children's literature. Along with that, there are cultural considerations that the stories that emerge from basically pretty rooted cultures and contexts. And the challenge of the filmmaker is to transform into an epic drama which would resonate with entire universe. So children's literacy has a legacy of imagination. It has always stayed into values like be it Harry Potter, be it Chronicle of Narnia, be it Alice in Wonderland. It has always stood with like good with bad, good against evil, basically allegory, fantasy, and it has always set into vivid settings. When we are looking at any adaptations of classic children's literature into modern media in terms of film, television series, or OTT platform content, we cannot ignore the technological advancements such as CGI, motion capture, and 3D animation. Computer-generated images and motion capture technology and 3D animation combined with live actions have given a big wings to the classics that was written 200 years ago and imagined into a fantasy world has given a life on screen. Now, as we speak today's time, we are looking into LED walls, or augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, in-camera VFX, and technologies such as Unreal Engine are giving us even further access to the things which we earlier were quite time consuming and extensive in making. We are already seeing examples like Mufasa being coming into life with 3D dimension and real live action images, which are actually created with Unreal Engine and similar platforms. Modern media has also created with global accessibility. Like we have streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, and many more local platforms. We have like Woot and any other platforms region-wise, giving more and more telecasting platforms for the media to be shown and media to be consumed. So there are more points for more opportunities for children's literature to be converted into films, television programs. Along with that, video games and various apps are also providing interactive storytelling experiences to our children and audience, which will even create more openings for adaptations. So adaptations always have been a challenging task, depending how to condense the existing text and reimagine the stories. I mean, we can take a straightforward example of Alice in Wonderland, which was like if there are two films made from that classic. One is in 1951 from Disney Studios, another is 2010 with Tim Burton with classically portraying Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. The first take was complete, staying honest to the narrative and imagining the fantasy in a child-friendly manner and keeping it the adventure alive. On the other hand, the 2010 film takes a step ahead and kind of makes a sequel of the original story and creates into a darker theme, which gothic kind of a visuals and graphics. So once if you look at here, the authors have taken single piece of work and have reimagined the story and redefined the text as well. In terms of visual aesthetics, it has gone ways in terms of how we are imagining the text. If we see Harry Potter, intense computer generated images and creatures and settings were created. I mean, I can't wait to see that if Harry Potter would have been made in today's time where we have access to things called Unreal Engine. It was done way before that and it has done so magnificently. Another example is like Polar Express animated film and another live action mix animated Avatar, which can you takes which makes use of motion capture technology where human beings are actually acting out and then they are modified into another creatures for the film. That kind of thing is there. So actually, children's literature, I want to boldly say, is also pushing boundaries of our technology and science to create technology in such a way that it can give tools to artists and filmmakers and media makers to create the media which would resonate with the original text. Another thing which takes my attention when we are looking into children's classic literature and adaptation is thematic reinterpretation and cultural relevance and inclusivity. That's the world we live in. So these themes are, even if they are dated, even if they are 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 70, 80 years ago, the people who are making these films are looking it through contemporary lens. For example, the last year's film, The Little Mermaid, which featured in 2023, ended up creating the mermaid as a African American actress, which wasn't the case. We have always seen mermaid as a white girl, but they took a bold step and created an inclusivity into it. Um, Along with that, into Peter Pan and Wendy, we see a lot of Native American characters and gender roles, which ensure respectability and contemporary approaches. Um, so recent cinema, which are looking into children's classics, but also paying close attention to multi-ethnic casts and involving gender roles, reflecting to diverse audience. And basically it is looking at the world as an audience, as a market. So it is incorporating everybody into it. And so it's becoming a more human experience. So that's the key thing in films, that it has to have a universal appeal to resonate with an audience and generate a business as well. So my findings are balancing fidelity and innovation is the key thing when we are adapting children's media to screen. Like you stay true to the text as well as create innovation. That's the main task. I have taught this topic in one of our university, and my experience was that when we look at a text and how we look at a script, a lot of content creators find it difficult to transform the text into it. So we need to create modules for that, to how to transform literature into a screenplay model. Role of technology in storytelling is huge and it is contributing a lot. And day by day, the technology is increasing. The storytelling is becoming really refined and nuanced. And more the technology is changing, we are resonating more with culture and relevantly. And through that, audience engagement is increasing. We, at conclusion, I would like to say that we need to bring literary tradition with modern innovation. Closer the gap, better the media production is going to be. And I see lots of opportunity as well as challenge in adaptations. I would like more of Indian or more of a regional language, regional literature of all the countries to be get transformed into regional films, regional television program. That's the kind of opportunities and work and employment I see for artists. And we need to endure of this power of children's literature into media, because it does give us a sense of value and ethics as well. Thank you. These are my references. Thank you very much for listening my presentation peacefully. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. My topic here is explainable AI-driven intrusion detection for DNS over HTTPS attack. The work done by Jumana, Samreen, myself Ajaram, and guided by Dr. Arokya Xavier Aniar. DOH is expanded as DNS over HTTPS. DNS in this DOH, DNS queries are passed through HTTPS in encrypted manner. And DOH seeks to improve the online privacy of user by hiding DNS queries. Hiding DNS queries from view. And DOH, that is DNS over HTTPS, improve privacy and confidentiality of data by preventing data interception, preventing man-in-the-middle attack, and also enhancing the security of information in transit. So these are some of the security threats posed by DOH. First one is outdated DNS security measures. So with DOH, it is difficult for companies to detect compromised host. That is, it is difficult for companies to analyze the DNS traffic. Then bypassed security measures. In bypassed security measures, malware authors can use DOH to bypass the organization's DNS security. Data leakage is another one security threat. So employees of the companies can accidentally leak data by sending internal DNS queries to the public DNS servers. Then another one security threat is incompatibility with established regulation. So in DOH, it is difficult for government to monitor the DNS queries. Thereby, government cannot block the illegal content. Can block, but it will be difficult. So these are the security threats posed by DOH. So the objective of the work is to detect a DOH attack in network flow analysis. Here, three approaches have been used. One is stacked random forest, then LSTM, then by LSTM, and each model's performance are compared to come up with the best approach. And we know that ML and DL models are black boxes. To improve the interpretability and transparency of the model, the model's approach is explained using an explainable AI technique. Okay, so due to time constraint, I'm directly going to the problem statement. So we know that traditional intrusion detection system faces challenges in analyzing DOH traffic because the DOH traffic is encrypted, and existing IDS solution offer high detection accuracy but lack interpretability. That is, using ML and DL model, we will get the high detection accuracy value, but we don't know which feature actually contributed to that. So it lacks interpretability. So the current models do not efficiently highlight the features that contribute most to the classification, and there is no existing solution. As per our research, there is no existing solution that integrates the stacked classifiers and deep learning model, LSTM by LSTM, and explainable AI for DOH attack detection and model interpretability. So in explainable AI technique, we had used sharp plot for interpreting the model decision. So the data set we used here is Canadian Institute of Cyber Security's DOH BRW 2020 data set. It consists of 34 features, and it consists of labels non-DOH, benign DOH, and malicious DOH traffic in the ratio of 45:1:12. And in pre-processing stage, the data set undergoes cleaning to remove redundant features, that is removing the duplicate data, followed by normalization, that is removing irrelevant features. And we know that from the data set, we know that the data set is imbalanced. So for balancing the data set, we use SMOT. SMOT, what it will do is it will create the synthetic samples for minority class. It will not do any duplicate data creation. Thus by it helps preventing the overfitting. And the model we used here is stacked classifier. Then deep learning model we used here is LSTM by LSTM. In stacked classifier, we use logistic regression as the meta classifier and random forest as the subclassifier. And the evaluation metrics we used is accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. And finally, we used explainable AI technique using sharp plots. So this is the overall architecture of our work. So the this data set is given for pre-processing, and the pre-processed data is given as the input of stacked random classifier, then LSTM and by LSTM, and the output of this DL/ML model is given as the input to explainable AI. That is the model, and its performance metrics is given as the input to the explainable AI. Okay, so these are the 4 modules we used here. Module 1, the stacked random forest classifier. So this is the flow diagram of stacked RF classifier. So here the pre-processed data is divided into 90% training and 10% testing, and training data is again split into three parts, and SMOT is used for upsampling the data, and the upsampled data is given as the input to random forest. So here a random forest acts as the base classifier. Here we use a number of trees 20 and a depth 8. And we also used grid search CV to find out the best hyperparameters. And then this merged upsampled data set is given as the input to logistic regression. In logistic regression also we use grid search CV to find out the best hyperparameters. And this logistic regression is the meta classifier here, and the model is built using the entire data set, and it is model is evaluated using the testing data. Okay, and the performance metrics, accuracy, precision, recall, F1 and confusion metrics is generated. And the module 2, we use this deep learning model, that is LSTM model. In this, the pre-processed data is divided into training set and testing data, 90% training, 10% testing. This training data is again upsampled using SMOT. And we use class labels here. In label encoding, we use class labels, that is integer labels will be created, and it is given to one-hot encoding. In one-hot encoding, the integer label is converted into binary vector, and on-hot encoding output is given to for reshaping the data set. In reshaping the data set, what we will do is we will convert the 2D data set into 3D using NumPy arrays, and it is given to the LSTM model. So in LSTM model, the 2 layers are there. In LSTM also, we used grid search CV to find out the best hyperparameters and number of neurons. So in LSTM, in layer 1 and layer 2 layers are there. In layer 1 and layer 2, 64 neurons are used, and 2 dense layers there. In dense layer 1, we use the activation function ReLU, and in dense layer 2, we use the activation function softmax. The model is built with the best hyperparameters, and it is evaluated using the testing data, and the performance metrics, accuracy, precision, recall, F1 and confusion metrics is generated. Module 3 is same as that of LSTM. The only difference is we use a by LSTM. That is, we are having 2 LSTM module, one in forward direction and another one in backward direction. And the 4th module is explainable AI. In explainable AI, the input that we are given is model, then performance metrics. We know that All the previous models we had discussed is black boxes. We don't know what is actually happening inside, and we don't know which feature has contributed for the prediction. For finding out, we use the explainable AI. So explainable AI helps to understand model's decision making process. For that, we use SHAP plot. There are 4 plots we used here: future importance plot, dependence plot, summary plot, and force plot. So these are the this is the performance metrics. From this table, we can easily find out that we used 3 models here. Stacked random forest performed very well. Its test accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, and all are above 99%. And the confusion, these are the confusion metrics of classifiers. Here also we can see that stacked random forest performed very well. Then for this explainable AI, we use different plot. First one is summary plot. So here, for demonstration purpose, I had shown here only the malicious class plot and the model LSTM. So in summary plot, it shows the overall future importance, how a feature affect the prediction. Okay. So here the X value shows the SHAP, X value have the SHAP value, and Y-axis contains the features. So here a red indicates the increase in malicious DOH probability, and a blue indicates a decrease in malicious DOH probability. Okay. So next one is future importance plot. Future importance plot is same as summary plot. So it is a simplified version of summary plot. In future importance plot, we can rank which feature has contributed to our model prediction. So here the x-axis shows the mean absolute SHAP value per feature, and y-axis shows which feature contributed to the model's decision. So from this plot, we can identify that for LSTM model, the duration and packet length coefficient of variation has contributed more to the model's prediction. And with this future importance plot, we can easily identify less or irrelevant features, and we can remove that from our feature selection. And next plot in explainable AI is dependence plot. So dependence plot is a scatter plot which shows the relationship between a single feature and prediction. So here x-axis shows the actual value of a feature, and y-axis shows the SHAP value. Okay, so a negative SHAP value indicates a feature will negatively impact the prediction. And the final plot in SHAP we used is force plot. So in force plot, it visualizes the SHAP value for individual prediction. So in dependence plot, it is created for individual features. Force plot also it is created for individual features. So a red shows a positive impact, and a blue shows a negative impact, and the y-axis shows the SHAP values. And the conclusion of this work is this paper presents ensemble and deep neural models for accurately detecting malicious DOH traffic, and it is evaluated using the benchmark dataset DOH VRW 2020 dataset. And the SHAP values are used to highlight which feature contribute to the classifier decision. And the proposed method provides an accurate solution to detect and classify DNS over HTTPS attack. And the future works is here we had taken the DOH from browsers. Also botnets often use DGA algorithm to create DNS queries. So the future work would focus on distinguishing DGA related DOH traffic from other HTTPS traffic. These are the references. Thank you.